Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. The Middle East is once again teetering on the brink of war, according to reports from Sing Tao. Various British and American media outlets reported yesterday, May 16th, that the U.S. Trump administration is actively lobbying the United Arab Emirates, UAE, to assume a more assertive role in the Gulf region. This reportedly includes urging the UAE to militarily seize Lavan Island, a strategically vital Iranian territory. The objective is said to be to have UAE forces stationed there, effectively replacing U.S. troops and containing Iran. Simultaneously, the United States and Israel are undertaking their most intensive military preparations since the recent ceasefire. A new round of large-scale attacks on Iran could commence as early as next week. Military officials have warned that potential ground operations involving special forces to seize nuclear materials from ruins are under consideration. An extremely high-risk endeavor that would require thousands of support troops and likely lead to direct confrontations and heavy casualties. The U.S. is also reportedly considering seizing Iran's oil hub, Karg Island. Despite recent statements from Trump indicating a willingness to accept a 20-year halt to Iran's nuclear program, the U.S. stance remains firm. The Tehran Times reported that the U.S. has formally rejected Iran's 14-point ceasefire proposal, which aimed for a two-phase ceasefire and nuclear negotiations. General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, stated that over 50,000 troops, 2 aircraft carriers, and dozens of destroyers are ready for action. Defense Secretary Hegseth confirmed escalation plans. In response, an Iranian parliamentary spokesperson declared that Iran's armed forces are prepared to counter any aggression. Renewed conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran appears imminent. Thai Sounds reports a new Ebola virus outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo's eastern Ituri province has led to at least 87 deaths. The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warned of active community transmission. The World Health Organization, TUIOJ, has declared this specific outbreak caused by the Bundibugyo variant of the Ebola virus in both DRC and Uganda, a public health emergency of international concern. Each EAETAS declarations, which require quarterly review, have been made 8 times since 2009. The highly contagious virus transmitted through bodily fluids is often fatal. The DRC initially reported 65 deaths and 246 suspected cases. Africa CDC now reports 336 suspected cases and 13 confirmed cases with 4 deaths. The initial cases emerged in the densely populated mining area of Mongwalu. The security situation in Ituri province, marked by frequent attacks from Islamic State-backed militants, complicates monitoring and rapid response efforts. Uganda confirmed an imported case, with the patient dying in Kampala and being repatriated. Kenya has deemed the risk of external transmission as moderate and has activated an emergency response team while strengthening border surveillance. According to CBS News, American farmers are facing renewed uncertainty after President Trump's China summit concluded without specific deal details. Many struggling farmers had held high hopes that the summit would bring concrete agreements to alleviate their economic hardships. However, the lack of definitive outcomes has left them with lingering questions about their future. This agricultural uncertainty is further compounded by rising costs attributed to the ongoing Iran war. Lana Zak reports that this combination of unresolved trade issues and escalating global tensions creates a challenging outlook for farmers already under significant financial strain. Global semiconductor equipment leader ASML is expanding its global footprint by collaborating with India's Tata Electronics to construct India's first wafer fabrication plant in Gujarat. This strategic move, reported by Thai Sounds, comes as multinational corporations seek to diversify risk amidst intense trade and technological competition between the United States and China. Tata Electronics will invest $11 billion in the 300mm 12-inch wafer fab, which will produce chips for automotive, mobile, and artificial intelligence applications. ASML will provide critical support for the project. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed on May 16, witnessed by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Dutch Prime Minister Rob Jetten. Modi urged further Dutch investment in India's semiconductor, green energy, digital technology, and healthcare sectors. Both leaders also advocated for a swift free trade agreement between the EU and India. India is actively attracting semiconductor industries with billions of dollars in subsidies, with 8 projects currently underway. ASML CEO Christophe Fouquet emphasized the attractive opportunities in India's rapidly expanding semiconductor sector, committing to long-term partnerships. The article also notes ASML's role in the U.S.'s tech containment strategy against China, with previous restrictions on advanced lithography machines and potential further controls. NPR reports that Bulgaria has achieved its first-ever victory at the 70th Eurovision Song Contest, a surprising outcome as the country was not among the favorites to win. Performer Dara's catchy, banging anthem titled Bangaranga triumphed over 24 other nations in the finals held in Vienna, Austria. Music critic Glenn Weldon praised the song as an insanely catchy bop with deep, profound, abiding grooviness. Israel placed second, marking its second consecutive runner-up finish, but its participation was overshadowed by protests and boycotts from 5 countries due to the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Despite calls for its exclusion, the European Broadcasting Union defended its decision to allow Israel, citing the independence of its public broadcaster, unlike Russia, which was disbarred in 2022. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.